surprising.
Yeah, but anyway, while I was doing it, I was concerned that I would be.
I did that once today already.
Then I would be way off base on the things I said. Like, you know, I know Sarah well. You know, we haven't spent a lot of time together. You know, and obviously I know Brian well, but you know, in the last 6 years, I haven't seen him as much as I'd like to. But in tonight, just in being here tonight, between the things that Brian and Sarah said about each other and the things that she just spoke up about, there's been these continuous words. She just said genuine. That's a word that I end my thing with. And Brian talked about himself as his dreams, being a dreamer, and that's the basis of what I'm about to say. So I don't know. It just reinforces that these are good people, and I don't know, we know them. Anyway, here we go.
I'd like for the record to reflect he has notes too.
I was going to use note cards, but I was in more of a rush. I honestly here. I apologize. This, you know, please. I swear I'm a better public speaker than this. But I want to start off with a quote by Oscar Wilde. He said, "A dreamer is one who can only find his way by moonlight, and his punishment is that he sees the dawn before the rest of the world." This reminds me of Brian. Anyone that knows Brian knows that he's the consummate dreamer. I've stayed up nights with him. We used to live together for years. I've stayed up nights with him just talking about, you know, if we won the Powerball someday, what would we do with the money? Everyone's done that. But I mean, this illustrates. This is like I remember having good times with Brian and thinking about that. But when I look back, I realized that, you know, I was deciding what I wanted, but Brian already really knew, and you know, he was just kind of telling me. And I mean, that's the type of guy he is. He knows what he wants. I remember one time when we were living together, he wanted a new TV, and it wasn't like, oh well, that's nice. You want a TV? Like, let's go get a TV. He said, no, I want this TV, this size, this brand. It's at this store. It costs this much, and here's what I have to do to buy it. At the time, he was working for MBNA. He had to like work extra days. He had it all calculated out. It was a whole thing. Oh, and he knew exactly how he wanted it mounted to the wall. You can't just have a regular mount. It has to swing. He wants to be able to turn it. Even though the room was like 3 feet wide, it could be anywhere in the room. It didn't matter. It could have been on the ground. It wouldn't have mattered. But I mean, that's how Brian is. He knows what he wants, and he gets it. But anyway. Some might look at, you know, Brian, all right, Brian knows exactly what he wants. Some might look at it like, well, maybe he's a little critical or even picky, but I like to think of it as he's just particular. He knows himself, and he knows what he wants. He's decisive, which no one here has probably ever heard him described as that, but decisive. And he's surprisingly uncompromising. Honestly, and I think that's a good thing, but I guess if you're working in a group with them, maybe it's not the best. So anyway, a few years ago, when Brian introduced me to Sarah, he brought her over the house. We had a nice night. I knew right then that this girl was gonna just be the woman that completed him because of who he was and how he thought about things. And over the past few years, all they've done is prove what I knew, you know, that day, and they have. They've gone through some, you know, what I'm gonna call trying times, and they've done.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm understating a little bit, but they've done everything they've had to stay together and stay happy, and I admire that, and it's. I don't know, it's that affection that's brought them together and kept them together. You know, some can say, I bet some of that is the love they have for each other, and that love's kept them together. And I'm sure probably even a larger portion of that is Sarah's just incredible capacity for putting up with Brian.
True story.
But there's one more thing that I know I know is the reason for that, and it actually goes back to the Powerball thing. I didn't mention this, but every time we'd have that conversation, all the things that Brian would want the most had nothing to do with him. It was always, I want to pay off your mortgage, I want to pay off my friends' mortgages, I want to build a new facility for the fraternity, I want to do everything for my friends, and I'm not exaggerating this, I want to do everything for my friends to make them happy, and so, you know, they'll be able to spend time with me and not worry about financial things. And I mean, that's just, Brian is truly selfless. And that's something that's going to aid him in the rest of their journey here. And I mean, it just really, really a selfless, genuine person. But like I said, I think it's that altruistic quality that makes me certain that Brian was a fine boyfriend, and he will be an excellent husband. And if it comes to it, I know they haven't said either, well, they've said, anyway, if it comes to it, he will be a truly diligent father. And I knew things happen. We said he's selfless, we didn't say he was smart. Anyway, Brian and Sarah are genuine people, and this, for me, is what makes them truly special, because honestly, you don't meet people like that every day, especially, you know, in the business world, where it's just not something you run into all the time. So they certainly don't need advice from me, but, you know, I'm up here, I feel obligated, so it might sound a little cliche, but if you guys are slow to anger, quick to forgive, always listen, never accuse, cry little, but laugh a lot, and most importantly, just live. And that's gonna be fun.